Hi, welcome back. Spring is coming. There's always a sense of freshness and newness at the turning of winter and the awakening of spring. It speaks to us in a natural way of the refreshing and the hope of God. We know by faith that God is moving in increasing measures. Grace is real. He is faithful. The power of the Spirit is present. And I just want to just very briefly and quickly encourage you, if you are discouraged, if you've been plowing hard ground for a long time and haven't seen the fruitfulness of it, there remains a hope that is established in heaven and an author who is committed to perfecting and completing the good work He began in you and the assignment He gave to you. And I want to speak to that hope as the logical progression of what we've been looking at in Romans 8. Romans 8:25, after going through many verses of establishing, and I've just barely touched on these in the past few weeks, just scratched the surface of the work of the Spirit to confirm in our hearts that we are sons and that it is as sons that we build our Father's house. And in building our Father's house, all of creation is looking forward to the culmination of us coming into this fullness of identity with Christ. But it is this hope that sustains us. Verse 25 of Romans 8 says, if we hope for what we do not see, with perseverance we wait eagerly for it. I know all of us in our own prophetic promises, you and your cities and regions, you have hope that you haven't seen yet, but you're persevering because of that hope. And this is where identity and sonship and the work of the Spirit are so critical, because as this is established in our heart, we lay hold of that hope by the Spirit. Because, verse 26, it's in the same way that we persevere in hope and wait eagerly for it, in the same way the Spirit also helps our weakness, because we don't always know how to pray as we should. And so the Spirit Himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. Why? Because He who searches the heart knows what the mind of the Spirit is, and He intercedes for the saints according to the will of God. So this is the great hope of contending, prevailing prayer. This is how we contend. This is why we contend, because we are contending according to a wisdom, according to a blueprint greater than our own, with a hope established in heaven, that we are not merely randomly praying empty phrases, that we are not simply praying according to our own wishes and designs, but there is truly a hope, a divine hope within us, born out of the work of the Spirit within, confirming who we are, what we're called to, and why we are continuing to plow this ground in our regions, in our territories, because there are gates of hell that we are contending against. There are keys that have been given to us, rooted in the revelation of Christ, and it is the good pleasure of the Spirit to fortify us as heirs with Christ and sons of God, doing the work of the kingdom. With perseverance, we eagerly wait for the manifestation of the breakthrough, the result of these prayers. And when we run dry, when we simply don't know what to pray, we pray in the Spirit. I want to encourage you. In 2014, pray in the Spirit more than ever. Give yourself to praying in tongues. Let the testimony of Paul be the testimony of the Ecclesia prayer communities this year, that we pray in the Spirit more than all. We want to forge ground in praying in the Spirit, in giving ourselves to the wisdom of the Spirit, who knows what we need, who knows the hope set before us, who knows the fatigue and the lack that we so often feel. This is a year to go deep into the Spirit, into the ministry of tongues, into the ministry of spiritual wisdom beyond our own, and into contending according to the Spirit's design, because He helps our weakness, and we don't always know the right path forward. But as we labor according to the Spirit and give ourselves to the identity of Christ, He will contend through us and for us.